Which of the following is a primary goal of dispute resolution in a professional context? A. To escalate the issue to legal authorities. B. To maintain positive and constructive working relationships. C. To assign blame to the responsible party. D. To enforce company policy at all costs. The correct answer is B. To maintain positive and constructive working relationships. Explanation. The main objective of dispute resolution is not to determine fault or punish individuals, but rather to restore and maintain productive working relationships through understanding and collaboration. GE2001115 emphasizes respectful communication and practical outcomes. In a formal dispute resolution process, what is typically the first step? Once a dispute has been identified, A. Identify and clarify the nature of the issue. B. Begin legal proceedings. C. Escalate the matter to a senior manager. D. Issue a written warning. The correct answer is A. Identify and clarify the nature of the issue. Explanation. You cannot resolve what you do not understand. Identifying the issue ensures both parties and the facilitator are clear on the problem at hand. GE2001115 emphasizes problem clarification before any further steps are taken. Why is it important to remain neutral and impartial when facilitating dispute resolution? A. To ensure fair and equitable treatment of all parties involved. B. To favor the complainant. C. To avoid appearing weak. D. To speed up the resolution. The correct answer is A. To ensure fair and equitable treatment of all parties involved. Explanation. Being impartial builds trust in the resolution process. Any bias can undermine the credibility and fairness of the outcome. Neutrality is a core value in professional dispute resolution under GE2001115. Which of the following actions would be considered inappropriate during a dispute resolution meeting? A. Documenting key points. B. Asking clarifying questions. C. Interrupting the speaker to express your own opinion. D. Allowing each party to speak. The correct answer is C. Interrupting the speaker to express your own opinion. Explanation. Interrupting disrupts communication and signals disrespect. Good facilitators use active listening techniques and ensure all parties feel heard, consistent with best practices in GE2001115. What role does confidentiality play in the dispute resolution process? A. It prevents legal consequences. B. It protects the organization from liability. C. It ensures outcomes are binding. D. It encourages open and honest communication. The correct answer is D. It encourages open and honest communication. Explanation. Confidentiality creates a safe space for participants to express themselves, which is essential for reaching genuine resolution. GE2001115 stresses the ethical responsibility to maintain privacy throughout the process. A dispute that involves threats or potential violence should be handled by A. Referring the matter to appropriate authorities and ensuring safety. B. Encouraging both parties to resolve it informally. C. Continuing the meeting with extra supervision. D. Disciplining both parties on the spot. The correct answer is A. Referring the matter to appropriate authorities and ensuring safety. Explanation. When threats or violence are present, safety comes first. The dispute resolution process must be paused and appropriate escalation steps, including involving HR, security, or legal departments, must be followed as per GE2001115. What is an appropriate way to verify that a resolution has been effective? A. Close the matter if no one complains further. B. Rely on verbal agreement. C. Follow up with all parties after an agreed period. D. Ask the complainant only. The correct answer is C. Follow up with all parties after an agreed period. Explanation. Post-resolution follow-up ensures that the agreement is working and sustainable. It's a key step in conflict resolution frameworks and ensures continued accountability, as outlined in GE2001115. During mediation, what is the role of the facilitator? A. To represent company interests. B. To discipline the offending party. C. To guide the discussion and support collaborative problem solving. D. To enforce organizational policies strictly. The correct answer is C. To guide the discussion and support collaborative problem solving. Explanation. The facilitator is not a judge. Their role is to support dialogue, encourage understanding, and guide parties to a resolution, all in line with best practice outlined in GE2001115. When documenting a dispute resolution process, which of the following should be included? A. Personal judgments. B. Factual summary and agreed actions. C. Emotive descriptions. D. Only the complainant's version. The correct answer is B. Factual summary and agreed actions explanation. Documentation should remain objective, noting facts, positions, agreements, and any follow-up required. Subjective or biased language can undermine the process and the documentation's credibility. Which of the following is a benefit of early intervention in workplace disputes? A. Reduces the likelihood of escalation and long-term conflict. B. Increases the chance of formal action. C. Helps build a stronger disciplinary case. D. Delays decision-making to allow things to cool down. The correct answer is A. Reduces the likelihood of escalation and long-term conflict. Explanation. Early intervention can prevent minor issues from turning into major disputes. It shows responsiveness and supports a respectful, solution-focused workplace. Key principle in GE20011. Which communication skill is most essential when resolving disputes? A. Interrupting when you disagree. B. Speaking louder to assert control. C. Active listening to understand all perspectives. D. Taking notes for disciplinary action. The correct answer is C. Active listening to understand all perspectives. Explanation. Active listening involves truly hearing and understanding what others are saying. It is essential in dispute resolution to show empathy, gain clarity, and reduce misunderstandings. What is a key benefit of using collaborative problem-solving in resolving disputes? A. It gives management total control. B. It avoids follow-up responsibilities. C. It encourages shared ownership of the solution. D. It allows quicker punishment. The correct answer is C. It encourages shared ownership of the solution. Explanation. Collaborative approaches help parties feel respected and involved. When both parties contribute to the solution, they are more likely to comply and maintain a positive relationship. If a dispute arises due to miscommunication, the most appropriate action is to A. Assign blame quickly. B. Clarify facts and check understanding. C. Escalate to legal authorities. D. Avoid involvement. The correct answer is B. Clarify facts and check understanding. Explanation. Miscommunication is a common cause of disputes. Clarifying each party's perspective can prevent unnecessary escalation. Which of the following is not a constructive behavior in dispute resolution? A. Asking open-ended questions. B. Making personal attacks. C. Showing empathy. D. Paraphrasing for clarity. The correct answer is B. Making personal attacks. Explanation. Personal attacks damage trust and escalate conflict. Constructive resolution focuses on issues, not personalities, as reinforced by dispute resolution practices. In a workplace dispute, what should be the main focus of the facilitator? A. Expressing their opinion. B. Helping both parties reach a mutual understanding. C. Supporting their preferred party. D. Enforcing immediate compliance. The correct answer is B. Helping both parties reach a mutual understanding. Explanation. Facilitators must remain neutral and focus on helping parties understand each other and work toward a practical, agreed-upon resolution. Which of the following is a potential risk of unresolved disputes in the workplace? A. Increased employee turnover and decreased morale. B. Improved productivity. C. Higher wages. D. Stronger teamwork. The correct answer is A. Increased employee turnover and decreased morale. Explanation. Unresolved disputes can lead to toxic work environments, stress, and attrition. Effective dispute resolution supports staff retention and well-being. When documenting a dispute, what should you avoid? A. Summarizing the outcome. B. Listing agreed actions. C. Using neutral language. D. Including your personal opinions or assumptions. The correct answer is D. Including your personal opinions or assumptions. Explanation. Dispute documentation must remain factual and unbiased. Personal judgments can compromise professionalism and escalate issues. A successful resolution should ideally result in A. One party getting everything they want. B. Punishment for the wrongdoer. C. A mutually agreed outcome that is acceptable to both parties. D. Immediate dismissal. The correct answer is C. A mutually agreed outcome that is acceptable to both parties. Explanation. Dispute resolution aims for a win-win where both parties feel heard and satisfied. This increases compliance and trust. Why is it important to follow up after a dispute resolution. A. To ensure agreed actions are being implemented. B. To reopen the case. C. To collect gossip about the outcome. D. To assign additional tasks. The correct answer is A. To ensure agreed actions are being implemented. Explanation. Follow-up helps confirm that resolutions are working and that no further issues have arisen, ensuring long-term success. What is the purpose of a mediator in a formal dispute process? A. To make a final decision. B. To represent the employer. C. To advise only one party. D. To help both parties communicate and negotiate a solution. The correct answer is D. To help both parties communicate and negotiate a solution. Explanation. A mediator facilitates discussion and guides parties toward a shared resolution without taking sides or imposing decisions. When should a dispute be escalated to a supervisor or manager? A. When the issue is personal and unrelated to work. B. When initial resolution attempts have failed or the issue is beyond your authority. C. When you're unsure what the dispute is about. D. When the party involved is your friend. The correct answer is B. When initial resolution attempts have failed or the issue is beyond your authority. Explanation. According to escalation protocols under GE20011, disputes that cannot be resolved informally or are outside your role scope should be referred to someone with appropriate decision-making authority. Which of the following situations most requires escalation to external support, such as legal advice or mediation? A. When the dispute involves harassment or discrimination allegations. B. When two employees disagree about lunch breaks. C. When an employee forgets to complete a form. D. When someone is late for a meeting. The correct answer is A. When the dispute involves harassment or discrimination allegations. Explanation. Serious issues involving harassment, bullying, or legal rights must be escalated and referred to external or higher authorities in line with organizational and legal guidelines. Who is typically the first point of escalation within most organizations? A. The police. B. An external legal team. C. The immediate supervisor or team leader. D. A union representative. The correct answer is C. The immediate supervisor or team leader. Explanation. Most workplace policies recommend escalating disputes first to a direct manager or supervisor who can evaluate the situation and escalate further if needed. Why is it important to document the reason for escalation? A. To place blame. B. To protect yourself legally. C. To provide transparency and support continuity in handling the dispute. D. To make the case sound more serious. The correct answer is C. To provide transparency and support continuity in handling the dispute. Explanation. Proper documentation ensures that anyone who picks up the case later understands the context, actions taken, and why the matter was escalated. What is a key risk of failing to escalate a serious dispute? A. More meetings. B. Delayed lunch breaks. C. Legal liability and damage to workplace well-being. D. Positive feedback from staff. The correct answer is C. Legal liability and damage to workplace well-being. Explanation. Delaying or avoiding escalation in serious cases, e.g. safety harassment, can expose the organization to legal risks and worsen workplace culture. In an escalation situation, how should confidentiality be handled? A. Share details with the whole team. B. Limit disclosure only to those involved in managing the case. C. Email everyone just in case. D. Make assumptions about what's appropriate to share. The correct answer is B. Limit disclosure only to those involved in managing the case. Explanation. Confidentiality must be strictly maintained. Only those responsible for handling the dispute should receive relevant information, according to best practices under GE20011. Escalation of a dispute should be A. Timely and according to the organization's procedures. B. Always delayed to avoid conflict. C. Based on personal judgment alone. D. Only verbal to avoid a paper trail. The correct answer is A. Timely and according to the organization's procedures. Explanation. Following escalation pathways as soon as they are needed prevents further harm or conflict. Delays can worsen the situation and violate policy. If a dispute involves potential legal implications, what is the best course of action? A. Try to fix it alone. B. Ignore it unless someone complains. C. Call a team meeting to discuss publicly. D. Refer it to your legal department or external legal advisor. The correct answer is D. Refer it to your legal department or external legal advisor. Explanation. Legal risks must be managed by professionals with the appropriate expertise. Attempting to resolve them alone may expose the organization to liability. What is the purpose of having a referral process for disputes? A. To shift responsibility. B. To ensure issues are managed by the appropriate level of authority. C. To make employees feel watched. D. To reduce staff autonomy. The correct answer is B. To ensure issues are managed by the appropriate level of authority. Explanation. Referral processes exist to protect all parties and ensure that complex or serious disputes are dealt with by trained professionals or senior staff. What is an appropriate action when you are uncertain whether a dispute should be escalated? A. Make a guess. B. Avoid acting until things get worse. C. Ask a peer who's not involved. D. Seek advice from your supervisor or review policy guidance. The correct answer is D. Seek advice from your supervisor or review policy guidance. Explanation. When in doubt, follow policy or consult a senior colleague. Acting based on assumptions can lead to errors in dispute handling.